there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. On first down, it's Lewis. And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Ravens. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Throwing again on second down. Allen eluding the pressure right. They'll try and run it. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. It's a first down following a gain of 3. 21-0 our score after 1. On play action, Allen escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. Touchdown, Ravens! Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. Dawson able to connect on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Strong right, strong right, strong right. Hey.
They'll run on first down. It's Lewis. Willie Lanier, the Hall of Famer, there on the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And Walker has it. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Ravens, they'll take over. As the Ravens come back out here on offense, we talked about Lamar Jackson earlier, Charles, but these Ravens, they rolled through the middle part of the season. Couple losses in September, but undefeated in October, November, and rolled that into December. They've answered every big question thus far. The wins over Seattle, New England, Houston, the Rams, the Niners and Bills as well. Are they the favorites to hoist the Lombardi Trophy in Miami on February 2nd?
I believe they are because they are a complete team. As much as Lamar Jackson powers everything on offense, he has Marquise Hollywood Brown out wide. He can throw the ball deep, too. dependable tight ends led by Mark Andrews. Really good offensive line. Mark Ingram can run it. The defense comes at you from every imaginable angle. And if you're trying to prepare on offense for them, it is hard to do, and your quarterback gets hit a lot. And they have the best kicker in the league in Justin Tucker. That's a big formula for success when come playoff time.
He can run for it, and he will. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Going for it on 4th down. Allen. Throw left side complete. That's Gonzalez. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Allen going to come to the line here, 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven first.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Right back to Sanders on 1st down. Shrugs off another. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. On the draw, here's Sanders. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Flushed out right. Throw right side is hauled in by the tight end Gonzalez. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Tony Gonzalez in the final seconds of the first half as his guys continue to pour it on.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Dawson tacks on the point after. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken short. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
On first down, Lewis. Space to maneuver at the 40. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That good for 22 and a first down.
Double time, guys. Double time. Even. 4 down. Even.
Mariota now from the 50. It's brought in by Adam Humphries.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one as a receiver is got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Now it's a bootleg with Mariota. Complete. This is Lewis. He's got the first down here inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
Here we go.
I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Give the sack to Lawrence Taylor.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And this is where you need the quarterback to morph into being a running back. The ball can't be away from his body. It can't be loose. It can't be held like he's going to throw it. Tuck it away. Take care of it because he's going to run through a lot of traffic.
And if he doesn't take care of it, we're going to see less design runs like that. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. That good for 22 and a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Allen. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 2nd down, it's Sanders. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
He may try and run for this. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Josh Allen, 46 yards. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Mariota. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Here's Mariota. And he'll hit his tight end, Walker. And he'll be brought down. Shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. Mariota going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Mariota throwing complete there to Walker. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards, the final tally.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. It's caught. Humphreys. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 yards on that play for the Titans. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Mariota now to throw on 1st down. That's complete right around the 8. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 11 more yards that go around. A 1st down as well. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Now Mariota. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. So that about as lengthy a drive as you're ever going to see. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
That 2nd down play nets a -4. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure toward.
I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold.